Happy New Year, everybody. I hope your dive into 2024 is fantastic. Over here, we are doing amazing, amazing. We are high on energy. Welcome and welcome back to One Word Podcast. If you're new here, kindly subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, we love you, our onesies. We are your hosts. My good name is Caroline Nguko.
And my name is Joy Kabuga, and this is a safe space where we have very personal and very intimate conversations about our lives before and after relocation and everything in between, guys.
Yeah. Yes. So how's your 2024?
I mean, it started on a high.
Yeah.
I think how I ended the year, and like most of the things I was already procrastinating on, I'm already starting to journal again.
Woo!
So
That's
let's
what
see
we
how
like.
this lasts. Yeah.
No, don't say that. Like, just go all in, knowing that you're gonna give your best.
Yeah.
And then it will last. We will be like talking at the end of 2024. You'll be like, oh wow, journaling was not a thing that utakomeifanya so much that it becomes a part of your life. I'm so excited too. It has started on steroids. You guys, I'm so high. Like, I'm so pumped. Shana wala do a gym when unakunywa steroids
anakange. Day one umebeba mpaka nguo mpya.
Yeah, so I'm so excited for 2024. We're so excited to do this year with you guys. And also a thing that we've decided now to include is our own personal Instagram. I will give you a chance to get to know us, deeper, not much as a duo, but personally. All our links to our Instagram for Joy's, for mine, is on the description box. You choose to follow us, but follow us on Instagram on one word. There you have to. Yeah, and
yeah, and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. And we've started like this conversation.
Yeah.
To start the year, this is a conversation that needs to be had, one of those conversations where like this is a mandatory conversation. Because we can't have our women here, doing some and things that we no, but more women. I care about women, so I'm gonna speak to women. I don't know about men. And yeah, maybe yeah. So the one word for this episode is
hygiene.
Yeah.
How clean are you? What do you call clean, actually?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I remember we just had a conversation with someone recently, and how they described hygiene made me realize that you and them had conflicting opinions. So hygiene to everyone kind of sounds different.
Yeah, I think it's very subjective in general. Like everybody, cleanliness is just on you. Mm-hmm. But there is something also. I was having a conversation with someone because I was like, what do you think? I'm going to have this conversation on my podcast. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what do you think hygiene is? I was like, showering twice a day. I was like, how dumb can you be? No, I didn't tell them how dumb can you be. Yeah, it's that does. I don't call it hygiene. Showering doesn't actually mean that you become clean. You can shower 3 times and you still stink.
No, but to me, still, that's part of hygiene.
Yeah, it is part of hygiene, but it's not everything. Because I have seen people literally, they are showering, they come out of the shower and they stink. Like, but listen, they did not do anything.
First thing you said was, when we had that conversation with that person, we realized like we have conflicting ideas about hygiene.
Yeah.
And then you went ahead and said, no, but showering
no. For them, I explained to them, like, when I ask you right now, what is hygiene?
Maybe you should ask me. Actually.
Yeah. What is hygiene? Describe to us hygiene.
Yeah. Hygiene to me is when you make sure when you get out of bed, those are not the same clothes you're walking out with outside. When you go out in public or in private, you need to not smell. Okay. You need to take care of your private parts also. You need to take care of your oral hygiene.
Yeah.
You need to take care of people can be uncomfortable around you if you are willingly doing it.
Yeah.
So I remember like in high school, people used to have this habit of like not wanting to take a shower. And then you just put like tons of perfume. Cold seasons, June, July. Oh, 1 week.
I know.
Our Jaogani perfume. Like you don't change your underwear. Oh my God, guys. Oh, so that to me is hygiene. What is hygiene to you?
What is hygiene to me? It's more or less the same. But I would add, it's like you being comfortable, understanding your weakest part. Like you cannot be clean 100, understanding it and trying to make it better.
Oh, tell that to a germaphobe. Those people are like 100% clean. Well,
those people that are clean on the surfaces and they stink. Me, you can tell me now. These people, they will seem challenged on the floor. They will go crazy. But this person, when you ask them, when did you shower? Juicy? You're so concerned with surface cleanliness. That's why I say hygiene is so many aspects. Because you can look at somebody, the way they are dressed, the way they they bring themselves, your head automatically say, hey, Mumsana come stuff. Have you ever seen somebody like, hey, they look so good that you think they smell so good, and then Caribbean like, hey, those clothes and the smell coming out of their door match. Have you been in such situations? No. But for me, hygiene mostly is just knowing what to do when something is dirty. Like for example, when I was in Kenya personally, when it comes to women hygiene, I never went to see my gynecologist just for a checkup. Like, how is my pH doing? How is my discharge? Is it okay? Like, are my bacteria bacteria? I never did this. Mimi kwanza, I remember I went only twice. Once ilikuwa ni sababu nilikuwa nataka kutoroka shule, and then I remember we used to use your UTI thing. Hey, Jesus. I was like, I think I have a UTI. The toilets are dirty. Then you were automatically given permission to go home and see a gynecologist. So that was the first time. And the second time is, I think I had a yeast infection or something. Oh, women and our thing. But when I came to Germany, it all changed. I got like I have like my personal gynecologist where I go there every 6 months for a full body checkup where they check how is this woman doing, how is her womanhood at the ovaries. This now I call woman hygiene, that you don't have to wait something to happen for you to go to the gynecologist. Like, it's upon you to take care of your inside, and this one you can only do through a doctor. And that's what I call number one. That is my first point on woman hygiene. I feel like you don't have to wait at you feel that you feel like, hey, nice smell, I don't like it, and then that's when you run to the gynecologist. Of course, run to if you have those symptoms, kimbia, don't walk, run. But it's also very important to have like a personal gynecologist who monitors you, because as women, we develop so many things in the future that if only we could have done regular checkups, it would have been avoided.
On that part, I remember some people actually don't know what a UTI is. I think very many women actually struggle. And this is the funny part, because it's almost like a taboo topic in Kenya to talk about your female hygiene down there. So many people look at it like, unless you're going to give birth, like almost like a taboo for people to go to a gynecologist. I see many people just knowing how to go to a gynecologist only when like they're pregnant, or in matters where
endometriosis.
Endometriosis, when it's PCOS, but like it's not just about that. I think people need to regularly go to the gynecologist. It doesn't matter, like it could be very small to you, but you don't know, like cervical cancer is very prominent nowadays, and you don't know. Let me tell you, I had a gynecologist who I was having a conversation with, and she said as long as you're sexually active, you're always prone to get cervical cancer. So I was like, wow, that is very interesting. So guys, like, the more, be careful. It's not just about like what Kara is saying. If you don't have to wait till you can't stand your order and then for you to go to the gynecologist. And also, people don't understand what UTI is. That's the other point. Like, you can say, I used to go when everyone is bleeding UTI, but what is UTI? Do people know what UTI is? Do people even know like what diseases and infections there are? They don't have to be sexually transmitted.
That's the other thing. I think there is that cliche that everything down there is sexual. Like, if it's not right, it's sexual. But let me tell you, there are so many causes of our infections as ladies, because we are so sensitive. The kanono is so sensitive. And so many aspects can really trigger something to happen. So let's go back to the topic UTI, because I feel like, wow, because I have suffered UTI for a long time. And also I have done so many mistakes in that topic. So UTI is a urinary tract infection. Urinary tract infection can be from everything. Yes, it can be from sex. It can be from...
Can it?
Yeah. When you have had sex and then you don't pee or something after sex.
I usually think that's a myth.
No, it is.
I see some doctors on TikTok, my TikTok doctors, they say that's a myth.
No, it's not a myth. Actually, it's a thing. And I throughout my journey with UTI, my doctor actually advised every time after sex, if you can just go to the toilet and release it.
But how is it related? I feel like these are completely two organs.
Yeah, because of the germs and the bacteria that go up during sex through your urethra. I think mostly for people who squat. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Now we are deviating. I'm talking about things that I shouldn't talk about.
Yeah.
Caroline, focus. Okay. So for me, the first time I got a UTI, I got it in Kenya. I did not know it's a UTI. And the way we love to self-medicate in Kenya.
How old were you? Like, were you in high school?
Yeah, the first time I got it for real in high school was once. And that one I was treated by... I never went to... I went... Yeah, I wonder, Aki doctors, you guys are funny. Because in Kenya, you go there and you say, it hurts me so bad when I pee. They're like, Nile. Yeah. And they don't even test you. They don't even ask you to pee to see how far are you infected.
Like, they don't take it as seriously. That's a problem.
So let me tell you, the first time I got it in high school, that was okay, treated, finished. The second time I got it, I was now out of high school. I was in the university. And then, in the university, that's when you're like, okay, that's the drug they wrote for me. And then I started getting it over and over. And I started self-medicating. So I knew these and these antibiotics. When I take them, it clears up. So I would be like, I hear it coming. I would go self-medicate and then... But I don't know, I was harming myself, actually. That's why when I came to treat it here in Germany, because when I came to Germany in the winter season, the first winter season crushed me with UTI.
Really?
And then I had not got my gynecologist right now speaks English. But then I was an au pair. I didn't want to tell my host family it hurts when and then now it had escalated. Because let me tell you guys, when you have a UTI, make sure they test you with the urine and they give you the right amount of antibiotics for it. Yeah, because it is escalated because UTI is you pee and then some pee is left, and to remove this pee,
really,
anal sex is better than this.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Okay, this might sound personal, so you can choose not to answer.
Yeah.
What type of symptoms should someone watch out for? Because when you're saying you used to feel, and I'm like, okay.
What would happen is, first of all, it would be very, you'd feel the urge to pee, right? Normally you go pee, you finish, you're done. But then you pee and then some is left, and then you stay maybe 10 seconds and then it drops. And so that is the first time. There's no pain the first time. And then all of a sudden you start feeling like a sharp pain here, like the where does the pee go? What presses? When you're nasemanga, when you're umekazwa
and bladder.
You see, biology teacher here. It feels like something is pressing the bladder from inside. And then now it escalates to wanting to go to the toilet a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So you're like, now that's another sign, an early sign. And then now it goes to pain. You go a lot to the toilet and then these drops start hurting
really?
You don't want to release it, but you have
itchy.
to. No, not itchy. Pain.
Really?
No, itchy. So you just sugua. It's not yeast.
Really?
It's
my gosh.
It's like a drop, and it's usually very yellow, very yellow. And then it's one drop. Now, it drop. Actually, I would pay somebody to pee for me that drop. And then for me, because of the ignorance, nikiwa Kenya, nikiwa huku, I'm going to the doctor. And the doctor, she speaks German, my first gynecologist. My German was shit as fuck. I didn't want to tell my host family what's going on with me. So I'm like, they're asking me things, I'm saying yes, and in my mind, I'm like, So I got also treated for something that was not it 100%. I think at that point they were treating bacterial vaginosis, and they were saying, oh, in winter women of black color they get,
but
you know.
Why of black
but that's
color?
true, because when you come from a tropical country and you come here and experience winter, it can play around with your pH, and it did with my
so that's what
bacterial vaginosis can be from anything. Can be from the soap you use tupanti hatujakauka vizuri uzuri ukiwa kitu kona truck na mtu sasa ukipata from panty ama umevaa panty for ni mzee sana umekalia choo ama umeenda hizi choo za train, and then it could be triggered by literally also from sex. Your boyfriend, the last time you guys had sex, you had bacterial vaginosis, so he's like a carrier, so he keeps on giving you every time and every time. Yeah. And also if you're in an open relationship and your boyfriend has sex out there, he can bring it to you.
So UTI, vaginal
bacterial vaginosis,
so they're all like influence almost the same. So going to the public washroom,
the influence almost the same. And then for UTI they tell you to drink a lot of water, like so that you can flush out the bacteria, which is okay, which is true, it works. But then you don't want to drink a lot of water because you don't want to go to the toilet because you don't want to feel pain. So my mistake that now escalated my UTI to a new height. It was now, you see, the ignorance
and this. Sorry, to take you back.
No.
This antibiotics self-prescribe. Are they affecting you the more you consume them?
Yeah, so this is the thing. With antibiotics, you mutate.
Although.
So unajua kuna antibiotics utakunywa saizi they won't work. That's why you hear I started with amoxil, now I'm going to amoxicillin. You know, you just upgrade Sabia. The more you take a medicine, the more your body gets, used to it, and it's not as effective as it should be. So me, I had abused a certain antibiotic. I had abused it. So at some point, it was really relieving, but kidogo. That's why I had to go back to the doctor. And then also in Germany, you cannot access antibiotics. You have to get a prescription. So now, one time, now I was in a relationship, and now I was speaking with actually the first person I told I'm suffering so much was my partner then. I was like, hey, babe, I'm suffering. Because now this is what happened. I would get the symptoms. I would drink cranberry juice. I will gallop a whole 1.5 liter water so that it can wash away so quickly. I would
pineapple juice is as camel.
Not pineapple juice, but for UTI, yogurt is very good. Like any probiotics or whatever, take them as much as you can. And then by UTI, inakwanga strong in the night, so you can't sleep. So I remember for me it escalated. I have to go to the toilet every like 30 minutes to pee, and then wait for like a minute for this other small pee to come out. That hurt so bad. Nikaanza kulala na towel. I had the thickest towel I put here in between my, in my coochie area. And I decided, you know what, I just pee on this towel because I can't keep going, and it hurt so bad. And then the next morning I realized there was blood on the towel. I was like, sasa mimi nimeanza kunyesha na ninaumwa. And then the next day hakuna. I was like, what just happened? Am I pregnant, that I'm miscarrying, or what's happening?
Oh no, you're overthinking. I would have guessed bilharzia, because bilharzia is blood and urine and feces. Now I'm like, hey.
Yes, kumbuka biology ilinipita. And then when you have a problem with the pussy, you know, everything just it's concentrated. Bilharzia saa ngapi?
Mingi then you typhoid bilharzia.
So I'm like, okay, maybe something just. And then I slept again with a pillow, and I'm telling you, hey, these things, hey, I've suffered. So, and then there was blood again. Then Dr. Google came in place. Woo! Never Google your symptoms.
Akakwambia unakufa in the next 6 months.
Hata unakufa ama naenda operation ya urethra itolewe, sijui nitakuwa na kojoa na catheter. Why? So I was like, okay, Caroline, you can't play. I Googled I talked with a friend. I was like, oh man, I really think I need to see an English-speaking gynecologist. This thing is going to kill me. And that is in 2019. And then she was like, oh wow, yeah, I know a very good private gyne. Money here is not the problem. this thing has to go. Then I went there and he looked at me. He was like, oh, how have you been surviving? Because I was like, it's an emergency. I need to come. And I said, my pussy is bleeding, but I'm not on my period. So I made it like, it's either do or die. No, on call. I call. I was like, hey, I'm a new patient. You know the way they take so long to accept a new patient. But luckily, I'm privately insured in Germany. So when I just say I'm privately, come, they see the money. So I went. He did tests on me, and I was asking questions like, "How is it? What has broken inside there now?" He's like, "Wow!" Like I was chewed by those bacteria. They had worked on my urethra.
Unasema mpaka I feel goosebumps.
I know. I can't wish this on. UTI is a bad bitch. Then I told him now my history, and then you have to be open with your doctor. You can't lie to your doctor. So I was like, yeah, I'll be honest. I've been self-medicating. And then when I came to Germany, I think, and then the good thing, you have a record. So he called my gynecologist is a man, and I like it. He called my other gynecologist, and then she sent him the, you know, what she had been treating. And then I was given now strong medication, like strong medication, and it cleared completely. And then now I just keep up with. I've not gotten another incident, actually, funny enough. And but you know me, I'm a tea girl. I always drink tea. I drink a lot of water. I try as much as possible to just keep peeing and make the pee clean and stuff like that. So I'm that one girl that has suffered from UTI in a very, very extreme way.
Yeah, and I think the best way is actually to go to a gyna. You know, in Kenya, the irony is, now that you even mentioned yogurt, and then something clicked in my head. And I remembered a woman, I can't remember, it's one of the content creators. And they're telling women to put natural yogurt down there.
In the pussy?
Yeah. And I'm like, you guys, mnaambiwa ende uweke roses, sijui douche bath ama sijui buy pills so you can smell like flowers. Nice. Guys, that's messing up your
pH.
Yeah, like please just go to a gyna. Those are the people who know best what they're doing. And most, just as Kara said, it's not even nice to go to a gyna kwambe, oh, ati unaumwana wapi? Okay. Like, make sure they give you the test, let them do the proper test.
Exactly.
So you also understand what's going on
in your body. Because it sucks to have to take medicine for the wrong thing, because that thing that is hurting you will always be there, and it will come back until it's treated. There is no two ways about that. You cannot cure ati umekunywa headache ya kichwa unangoja tumbo ipone. Itatulia for a moment for sure, but it will still come back over and over. And let me tell you, like for me, it reached a very bad point. Kena mtu analala na towel between their legs, it was that, and the pain is crazy. It's crazy. So if you have anything, make sure you also ask your doctor to do multiple tests on you, and you rule out anything that it could be. I wanted to add on that. I also saw yoni products.
Like
the one that girl atisijueka garlic kwa girl.
I know.
Mimi mwenyewe siwezi kiss mtu mwenye ananuka garlic alafu msichana akuje ananuka garlic. Do the math. The math is not math.
Yeah, don't be like, you can't be that gullible. Like, we all understand, and there's no shame in going to a gynecologist.
Exactly.
Like, that's for your health. It's part of self-love.
And that's why they're doctors. If you don't go, who are they going to treat?
And I know also there's like the stereotype, but sometimes, honestly, because let me tell you, one time I also struggled. I was in high school. And I got an infection, but I don't know, because you know, like my school was in a very highlands. It was in the highlands, so the mountain, it keeps raining. Either my underwears weren't getting dry completely, or the cabinets, you know, like the school cabinets, they bring a moldy feeling. I don't know what it is.
It could be.
So, and then I was like, I need to go to a gynecologist because I'm starting to feel some type of cramp. And then when I went, the doctor didn't even finish for me to continue. So I'm like, and sometimes also I've had cases. I know there was a feature on, I think, Citizen TV a while back, and they're saying like some of the gynecologists actually abuse women when they go. So I think also this fear for gynecologists is because most gynecologists are men, which I don't know why.
But it's me, I like it when a man is looking down there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But in Kenya, when you see a guy abusing a patient already, imagine you going with your UTI situation and then a guy tries to rape you, or a guy tries to inject you with something so that they could take advantage of you sexually. It's very...
Just go to renowned hospitals, and if that happens, report, because he will do to the other patient.
I feel like when it comes to such severities, money shouldn't matter to you. You shouldn't be like, oh, this is like,
no.
Just, be
treating the bigger thing will be even more expensive. So you'll rather spend the first time and get accurate results than be like budgeting, and then at the end of the day you will need that 1 million to treat something that could have been 20K in the beginning.
For sure.
Something else also I could mention about ladies is for me, I'm not the, I think that, I don't know, you can tell us in the comment section. I'm saying from my experience and my girlfriend's experience and people that I've talked to about female hygiene. For me, it's very, very hard for me to get a yeast infection. Very, very hard. But I'm also prone to bacterial vaginosis. I feel like, girls, you're either this or that. Because I'm prone, but I don't get it often. Because the more, once you get something, I'm the kind of person, anything that has to do with my reproductive system, I have invested so much time in knowing me inside, because I love that part of me. That part of me, I love it, and the only way that I can protect it and make sure that it's healthy is by knowing a lot of information and visiting my gynecologist. So I feel like either a woman, that is merely not scientifically proven, either a woman is very, because I've never had friends who have both. Because me, I had a friend, she had yeast for a very long time. And I was like, I couldn't miss batangi kitu. But then I started suffering from bacterial vaginosis. It will be triggered by the listing. I have bought a new shower gel. Bam, tomorrow. I'm like, oh shit. I forgot, I was swimming, and then the swimming costume I did not rinse it with normal water. I wore it again. But I would be triggered by very little, until you get to understand, okay, this is how I do. Very little will trigger me.
Okay, you say that and then you've reminded me. Now going maybe to another point is people don't know how to shower. I remember, because you said you don't use soap on your area down there. And I'm curious, do people actually know how to wash themselves? Because I know people say don't use soap, but I feel like you shouldn't put soap in your vagina. But
on the top, on the labia,
and people don't, because you're not,
but what about still discharge? How is it gonna
and I'm like, guys,
the thing is, don't put soap in the hole.
Don't put it. It's not supposed to go in.
But on the surface,
on the surface you clean. Unaenda kunuka aje, guy. Me kwanza, I had a conversation and I was like, I was surprised. And I'm like, na mtu mzima. Mwingine, I remember also, my salonist back in Kenya, she told me one of her nieces or aunts alikuwa na shower in her reproductive system.
This conversation ends here.
I know, mpaka
yake nasikia mabibi yake nasikia.
Imagine kupata chawa huko, and I was like, mlijua aje? Akaniambia, imagine she used not to, she didn't think her unhygienic level ilikuwa imefika to that point. But yeye alikuwa one of those people who believe you shouldn't wash down that. I don't know, maybe she didn't wash her whole body.
But that place sweats, that place.
But she started getting ni chawa ndio ile ya kitanda ama ni lice. Mimi sijui, but ilikuwa lice. Alianza kupata lice huko, and then they had to physically remove them. I was like, mpaka sasa inaongea, I'm like, so guys, please, kama utaki chawa, wash your area. It's very sensitive to bacteria. Ota wewe, how do you, na watu wenye mnaacha suruali ikae for 1 year, 5 years, people don't I see people making jokes on Instagram and saying your underwear ikiwa na mashimo, but you'd rather buy Your underwear should be changed very often.
Or buy a lot such that.
Yeah.
But anyway, even if you buy a lot, utapata tu zile tatu zenye unavanga over and over. Those should be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Please wash that. That place sweats. We have discharge that literally comes out pretty much. If you don't discharge every day, but then go see your doctor because it's self-cleaning inside.
Yeah, that's a safe. Like,
but not the colorful, the other one. The no, it's just a normal thing. Because wengine I hear friends wanawake sisi wote tumejielimisha huku nje doctors ati, me I don't have discharge. I've never had discharge on a normal day. I'm like, then go see your gynecologist. It means your reproductive system is not self-cleaning because that's what discharge is. And
that's exactly what the point of having discharge.
Like the system is actually working. So if you don't have discharge, your system is dead. Go see your doctor to reactivate it. Because it means your bacteria are not working. Because naturally we have bacteria, and then when they're in a good amount, they will maintain your pH in a very good way. But when they're in a high amount, they change everything, and that's why we go to the gynecologist. Something else I wanted to say about us women. Us women, we take so long in so many things. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. He was here. He was like, "Oh my God, my girlfriend told me she tested positive for syphilis, and the last time we had sex was 6 months." Do you know, I called my gynecologist and said, I'm coming to test sexually transmitted. You know, I was like, the last time you guys had sex is 6 months, and now it's just showing. Because apparently, 6 months later, she started having a rash on her body. She went to the dermatologist. Dermatologist is like, I don't see anything on your skin that I can say has made you so irritable and get all these pimples. And then they went, and then one doctor said, do you mind having test of all the sexual some diseases come up through the skin? Then she went and she found akona syphilis. And you know, when you stay so long with syphilis, mi sijui kama ni ukweli, kama nakumbuka hiyo biology ya class 6 ya STIs ina sijui tafanya mtoto akuwe blind, mi sijui.
Yeah, hizo ugonjwa they're very critical.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Ladies, let us go as often as we can, because look at her, it took 6 months. But imagine, maybe for somebody else it can take 1 year, and then ukienda hosi because hiyo syphilis inataka sijui katwe kidney. Mi ni mwoga. I read this thing. So my point in this is, it's very important for us ladies to regularly check ourselves, because we have so many things going on. Like I have acne, so maybe I can always imagine it's just an outburst of acne, na kumbe ni mashegebede huko chini. So if you can, always visit your gynecologist, maybe every 6 months. For me, I do every 6 months, just for them to check for cervical cancer, for STI, even if I've not been sexually active, or I know maybe I've been active with one person. STIs, you never know, unaweza kuwa ulikunywa. No, I'm kidding, but you never know. It could be it has been hiding itself in the body for so long.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of having pap smears. Like pap smears are supposed, and it's my gynecologist who told me, like the whole you're prone to get cervical cancer as long as you're sexually active. So and men, it's ironical because for men, the more, you know, like the more sexually active they are, the better it is for them for prostate cancer. Like women,
unfair.
So guys, get your pap smears. It's such a simple. You don't have to feel anything for you to go get a pap smear.
But I think there's a month in October. These things are free.
Yeah. Is it? I think it's because it's
cancer awareness month.
Cancer awareness month. Yeah. And pap smear mostly shows like if you have any cancerous stuff in your reproductive system.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you can use that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so away from the reproductive organ, because we've been there, what else do you think women and hygiene should really look into?
Moshe masikio. Have you ever hugged someone?
Oh, I know. Look you.
Kwani umeoza? Hata si ndani huku hivi. But then guys, let me show you. Literally, I'm going to show you because somebody also showed me. When you're showering, he's far. I Ata see,
what does mine look like?
No, it's not dirty. Ebu, shake and then smell it.
There are people who smell.
Let me tell you, let me give you a challenge. For 2 days, don't wash that part. Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, let me give you a challenge and test it yourself. For 2 days, don't wash this area. And then just touch yourself like, inanuka umbudhi.
Okay, this conversation, it has to be, this is why we say, guys, subscribe, Aki, watch till the end of the video.
Yeah.
How else? Me, I never knew people smelled at the back of their ears.
When you hug them, you're like, "Ay!" And then you make it worse. The way we have been told, you know, apply some perfume here.
Yeah.
And then you.
But then, guys, perfume is not hygiene.
That is where I was going next. I was like gonna tell you, who told you to buying expensive champagne, expensive perfume. You will smell good for a second, but you know, it's you can do also this experiment. We can buy the same perfume. You can wear it and I wear it. It will not come out the same. It will mix with your body odor and then it will give out, you know,
different scent.
Yeah. And it's the same perfume you're wearing. So I know ladies wakitoka kwa nyumba like wamejaza. But let me tell you, by midday you'll be smelling like heri hata mwenye kuoga na kujipaka perfume.
Yeah, for real. But at semi perfume ni mbaya, but like if you want to put on perfume, make sure you're also clean. Like wash your ears, wash your body, wash your neck. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what to see, they're very excessive. But they have a perfume for I think every single part of my body.
Yeah. For me, I don't. I just have here and then the whole body.
I have deos, I have normal perfumes, I have foot perfumes, nail perfumes.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'm so obsessive. Like in Germany, it's just like such a bad place. When I walk in a store and I'm like,
that one looks nice.
Foot perfume, that's strange. I would love that. And then I just pick. So, but obviously these are, and that's what I'm saying, like
they enhance. They don't create, they enhance. So first of all, you have to be clean. And also something else, ladies, let us wash our hair. It's okay to wear, because this one I'm speaking to women in Germany. It's okay to wear braids 3 months. I know it's expensive. 100 euros is not pesa kidogo.
100 ilipanda.
Angalia. I know, pia mimi nasikia hivyo. That's why mtaniona tu na hii extension mpaka mlie.
Yeah.
But nani? Huwezi kaa sama mzima na nywele moja na washi.
By the nywele mpaka napeleka ndo watu wanaharibu.
I remember I told my ex-partner, I usually there are things I do to people.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, but I know to judge if I'm gonna be friends with them. I smell their hair, and when I hug them, the smell that comes from the ear.
Really?
And then when you smell bad,
you know someone's cute.
See, when you're hugging, it's very easy. See, I will just be like, hey, see, I'm already there.
Bad side.
Ukundani, it doesn't smell a lot. It's only that you have to toy your wax
often, and you see they have like chunks of wax. Like,
that's disgusting. And also you can go to these things can be removed aesthetically. Go to a Dr. Romasketa, Miss Johnny to aje HNO. But hiyo ni German HNO.
But si lazima chukua earbuds mse osha ama ukiwa bafu just pitisha.
Ama kama imekaa for long enda tu pitishwe maji. They do it very nicely like here in Germany. I don't know in Kenya. They just throw water and then you see the chunks coming. You're like, was that me? Yeah, if you're afraid, majorly there are people who are afraid to insert objects in holes in their holes.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was I saying actually? Because nywele, I was saying here, like, please, if you can, and also it's very simple. You just actually I've had braids for 2 months, the longest in Germany. I've had braids for 2 months, and I remember after 3 weeks I started feeling like, okay, you know, you're putting product on this hair, you're sweating, you're changing style, you're putting you're laying the edges with some gel, and then you're spraying hairspray. You know, all this over and over, it becomes something else. But imagine it was so easy to just go in, and it's like cleaning dreadlocks. Just go in and, you know, clean everything, and then put yourself out in the sun or wear a very heavy absorbing towel for a couple of hours, and imagine it will save you a lot. Because me, I feel like it speaks a lot mtu akinuka nywele. Ile hata tu kae tu na afro.
Okay, but you know, now that we're speaking here, I never used to have a challenge with dandruff. Ever since I came to Germany, sijui mbona na haishi. I've tried
maybe
to
try African products like shea butter shampoos.
I even have coconut lotions. In fact, I hammered to like using the wazungu type of oils.
Yeah.
And I have one particular one because I read in Germany the water is hard water.
Yeah, it is.
So most people after they have like hair breakage because of the water.
Really?
So I was like, but a good way is shampoo ikona urea. I'm not too sure how it's gonna work. I just bought it, so I want to see. But like, I don't know.
She gave us feedback.
Yeah, but like, is dandruff unhygienic? Because I used to view it very unhygienic in the past.
I don't think it's. I feel like dandruff comes from dry scalp. Maybe like, you can try.
It's a fungi. Dandruff ni fungi.
Ukweli mi hata mi sina dandruff na sijui stories za dandruff. But pia mi nilikuwa naangalia tuko na dandruff nakaa kuna chawa. I was like, oh my god, au naibu kuna kicheko white.
But imagine like I wash my hair every 2 months hata nikiwa nayo, but I don't know, maybe it's just like dry scalp. I'm just trying to,
for me, I don't know, juggle out and then something will work out. I have a question for you to hear your opinion. So is it hygienic for female to have body hair that is kwa makwapa na kwa pumnani? How would you?
I'm very indifferent. I feel like as long as you shower. But also it depends on the kind of body you have. You can't be like the sweating type of person and then you have like a lot of body hair. If you're not the sweaty type, it's okay. Or if you know how to manage your body because you know body hair obviously attracts a lot of sweat and that type of warmth is what makes you start smelling. But like, imagine if you want to have body hair, that's on you. If you don't want to have body hair, that's on you as well. If you want to trim, if you want to have a landing strip, if you want to have, there's so many types.
Baby skin.
Yeah, like, just go for it. But like, kwa makwapa is where I'm like, please just shave makwapa.
Yeah, for me also, I'm very, hair does not define hygiene. Kuna watu wamenyoa, hair strip shaped and they're not clean. It doesn't, because I feel like there's a cliche whereby ukiona dema kona makwapa, you already just think they are unclean.
No, kuko kwa comments. People are so mean to people. Like ukinua makwapa na ama like you have some, hyperpigmentation. Yeah,
I have hyperpigmentation.
People are like, ew, wogangi.
But it's people who are very ignorant because hyperpigmentation is a very real thing in black or in people of color. Like for me already, you can see this part is darker than this part. I tried everything. But wacha niwaambie nyinyi watu wenye mnaambianga watu, ew, black. I bleached myself because of you guys. Mliniambia ew for so long. I was like, yenyewe hata niwaangalie ew. Uko na kala mbili unabuy foundation kala gani? Then I was like, okay, wacha tupake hapa. Inaitwa bleach. If I
my gosh, sad.
People be very careful on what you tell other people because there are conditions that nobody can change, like hyperpigmentation. I don't find any. Hata venye wanasemanga osha na turmeric. Use brains.
Yeah.
It will change a tiny bit, but the thing is, ukitumia turmeric kusumzima, of course, it will go a color higher, and this one too will go a color higher. So the hyperpigmentation will. It's only that you're lighter, but the hyperpigmentation is still there.
Okay, but people, please, I know this problem of bleaching skin, but I feel like that's a completely different topic.
Yeah, that one is.
But like body hair,
dive into it.
But body hair for me is, honestly, I'm very indifferent. I don't have an opinion. As long as you're clean and you take showers, please don't skip days to take a shower. Me, I'm always like minimum. Take a shower once a day, minimum, if you watch.
And also, taking shower 3 times a day does not mean you're the cleanest. So you know.
But you're cleaner the person who takes a shower, who doesn't take a shower. Okay, tell us, what do you think? Do you think when you go to someone's house, because me, I usually judge people based on how their houses look like. Is that a bad thing? I'm like, based on how you...
For me, I wouldn't. Well, for me, I also don't, because I've seen people who are sick, like they have OCD of surfaces. kila surface tu lazima ikue spot on, but tu mtu mtakaa naye hapo siku 3 na hajaoga.
Really?
Lakini ile mchele tu ukiangusha drop kwanza atakufukuza ndiye afagi. Kwanza huyo mtu ni Joy, but she showers. Joy is the type of but not to go into you. To answer your question is I feel like of course there is a degree of, if you're living in a dirty place, it means you don't really care more. Cleanness is not like your number one thing. But also going to there are good days and bad days of a normal person. I'm a normal person. There's a time you can come to my house and you'll be like, oh, msichana hayuko homeless. Yani uangalie hiyo nyumba yangu useme, this girl must be homeless. But it's only like, for example, to justify maybe for situation like mine, I'm running Monday to Friday, and then I have on Saturday, and then that's when I'm meeting, I've accumulated everything already from Monday to Friday. So when you're coming, you'll meet my work things there, you meet my shoes here, you meet it's not dirty, but it is unorganized. So for me, I feel like if you stay with this person every day and then you're like, okay, this one, they're just into that, I would judge them, because I feel like if you're this dirty, you don't even have the head space to tell yourself to actually properly clean yourself. But I've seen it so much with men who are very dirty, like the places are unkept, but they're actually very clean persons themselves. Like, but when you see their surrounding, you're like, you're like, you can't math is not mathing.
Well, I mean, I feel like I started giving more grace, because for real, I do have that problem about, like, I can't sit in a surface when it's not how I want it to be. I have to keep cleaning. But then I understand, like, people, especially for moms, and I want to extend this to also people who are, you don't know, someone might be grieving, they're not feeling like someone might be going through something, and I know people don't want to give excuses and feel like it's about a mental thing, but honestly, I can't imagine you're trying to grieve something, a heartbreak, loss, like maybe you have kids, you don't have time, like you have to keep juggling, and like it's different for everyone. So nowadays when I go to people's houses, I'm like, I'm open-minded. But when you come to mine, you act like you know.
But that's nice.
In your house, I'm like, it's your space. Yeah, it's your space. And also, don't try to, I feel like, don't try to intervene or like,
Mimi, imagine intervene and go to the kitchen and wash for me. Mimi, I like intervention, but if you're putting in the action, Miss Inanga should, like, if you come to my place and you're like, hey, like Joy used to come every time, like, why do you always have vyombo kwa sink? I'm like, nakusumbua.
Did they actually ask?
Yeah. And then one day she came, she found that this week I had not gone to the lab. I was home. And then she's like, oh, Caroline, finally you've washed your vyombos. And I'm like, Falai, you think I don't wash my vyombos? It's only that you come, because we always shoot on a Friday evening and the whole week has been marathon. So anakuja ako like, hey, So that day she was like shocked, like, guy, umeosha vyombo. But I would tell her, look, hizo vyombo kama zinakusumbua, akituingia jikoni, pambana. I don't feel offended, because I know everybody has but if you judge me for my cleanness for that, it's on you. Like, I really actually don't give a fuck, because I know for some people they have the time and also they have that disease, like they just want, and also maybe cleanness make them think better, like be in a better mental space. Because I remember the one you said, giving grace to people. I remember when I was depressed and I was drinking every day, where would I have the time to clean? I would order out food, order out drinks, spend the whole time in my bed. So when you came to my house, you find a lot of papers from the takeout. Actually, the place is not dirty. It's just.
But are you not justifying it?
I'm not justifying it. But I couldn't have done anything. I was depressed. I was in my bed. I mean, the only thing I could do was showering. And in that episode, you remember, I said, if showering ingekuwa ile ya kuendea na ninio na karai, singe yoga. Because I didn't want, even nilikuwa najua nitasimama hivi kwa shower. Nipake sabuni one time, nimerudi kwa kitanda.
Kwanza, that's a good point, because I want to know, unajua kuna watu they shower with their panties. Do you think, and I remember when we were in high school, we were taught what goes in your face, you shouldn't wash your feet with the same thing that you wash your reproductive parts.
Now, yeah, that is too much, but first of all,
ushaioga na suruali, tell us.
Yes, nikiwa high school. Kwa sababu nilikuwa naoga ndio nisioshe tena, yani naoga nikiosha, you know. But
that's funny.
I think my dad tengenezead me the moratina of showering. But acha nikwambie, mimi I judge people who wash their panty with their hands. Lakini why nimeoverdo?
I personally think that's the best way to wash.
Mimi zangu najipile narusha kwa nini?
I did an experiment. Mimi nikosha zangu na the other person aliosha zake na machine. Zake zilikuwa ingemaliza 3 months ungeonekana na mayellow hapo.
But inamaanisha akuosha na the right temperatures. You wash with the highest temperatures those clothes.
Hata when you wash with the highest
Me I've been living here 5 years na naziwasha na but zangu hata na.
But mimi sijaipata suruali yenye kuna mayellow. Mimi kwanza but yellow ukiona suruali yako imeanza kukua yellow damp that thing. That thing is for
for me I feel like for suruali I feel like it's good to always soak them kwanza. That's what I started doing. Like in the university I would wear the whole week sioshi, and I would soak them in a bowl with detergent, like, you know, trying to make sure. Because ukioga, let's be honest, sometimes unafaa kukimbia mahali unataka kuosha hiyo panty na uitumie kuoga. Hautaiosha poa because utaitumia tu kuoga and then you wash kidogo, and then maybe haitakuwa as safi as it could have been if you just soaked them and then take time to actually, you know, clean them.
But then, you know, you're speaking from a point of, in Germany, most people have washing machines.
But nasema home si nilikuwa nafanya hivi. Mi Kenya sikuwa na washing machine. Nilikuwa nazipile Monday to Friday na ikiwezekana 2 weeks.
Also, like, speaking of underwear, like, I feel like you shouldn't wear your G-strings or thongs. Like, those are not...
What?
No, like, you shouldn't wear... I didn't even finish my sentence. You shouldn't wear them every single day of the week. Like, when you put on your G-string, you can't choose G-string. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just need to breathe. You know, G-string in a move. And also, kwa sababu inapitia hapo katikati kabisa.
Me, this I don't agree.
I feel like you shouldn't wear your G-string.
How often should you... Okay, questions to our audience. Before we wrap up this conversation, because inakaa hapa tumeanza kuongea G-string. How often should a lady wear G-strings? Or
unless it's a very special occasion, I feel like you also need to have some cotton underwear. G-strings, they go literally from your ass to your...
Oh, let me ask you another question.
To your vagina. Obviously, no, unajua, like, getting bacteria vaginosis, it's always like also triggered by uchafu ya huko nyuma.
But sasa inakuja aje chini? Kwani hiyo G-string ni
kama unajua kujipanguza. Ukibend hivi alafu kana roll hivi nene na sukuma.
Well, no G-strings at 10 bob chamo understand how. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Wrapping up, also you can comment. Pads or tampons?
Indifference also. I feel like it depends. There are people who cannot stand tampons. I also had a conversation with someone who said they were very, I don't know, they had like an allergic reaction to tampons. So if you can do pads, do pads. If you can do tampons, do tampons. I know there's a content creator who was shaming people for using pads.
I wanted to go there. Like, really shame on it. It does not mean that you've made it because you're using tampons. Because if you don't know how to put it inside, it is the most uncomfortable thing. Like, for me, I'm also very indifferent. It depends with the occasion, because I'm a girl who's addicted to wearing G-strings. So and sometimes unachoka yenyewe. Unaona hii boni inakwanga hapo kwa rasi. Inawakanga moto. But for me, it's indifferent. And also, for those people who use the, you know, period cup, who use tampon, who use any other different thing, they're washable, reusable tampons. Of course, it's great, but it doesn't make you a better or a more hygienic person than somebody who's using pads. Just get over yourself. There's so many ways where you can kill this bad, and all of them depend on the person who is doing them.
But Carol, you've made these points at such a, like, I feel like you want to end the video and I just have something to say.
Say.
Please, when you're on your period, this is the best part to be the most hygienic. Aki, have you ever smelled, let me tell you, in Kenya, mtu angepita kwa matatu uko like,
huyo watu wananyesha.
Huyo hajabadilisha. Yeah, it smells so bad. Like when you're on your period is the point where you need to shower more times in a day. You need to change your sanitary towels if that's what you're using. You need to change your tampon. Like, yeah, and there's no shame. If you're on a period blood, if you see someone with period, like, go tap them. Yeah, there's no shame in it.
There is no shame in that. And just to wrap up, is me, I always, nikishasikia uko on your periods, automatically my mind starts judging.
Really?
Yeah, because high school was such
G-strings and a judge.
Yeah, high school. Watu walikuwa wananuka, yani I have such but it's not in a bad way. Just imagine dead chicken. No. Anyway, you guys, we've come to the end of this conversation. It has been amazing, and I know we can talk because we women, we just have a body that is very, very complex, but at the same time, the most beautiful body that God could have given any human being. And there's so many ways where we can keep ourselves clean, and they're so different, but all of them are actually possible, and they're okay, and does not change who you are if you have hair or you don't have hair. And your final remarks, now you close.
I just feel like I have said everything. I wish this episode would continue. Have you ever felt like one of those episodes?
There's a part 2. Like, I feel like there's a part 2 coming. There's a part 2 loading. But this part 2 will be determined by how much you engage in the comment section. If you engage very, very, nicely, we'll
and tell us what you think we forgot to mention.
What else are things that are biting you? We are closing the video and you're like, you did not mention this. Mention for us in the comment section. So we wish you a very, very happy New Year. And from us to you, bye.